Conclusion: Getting Beyond Survival. A confession. I gave this book the wrong name. Really, I used the word survival in the title, and this never should have been done. I do not believe for 1 nanosecond that God ever intended for us, the members of His royal family, to merely be survivors. Conquest was all He ever had in mind for kingdom citizens. If survival were God's goal, we would be worshiping the God of the mediocre. We are not. We are worshiping the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. But I left the title as it is because I've observed that in order to conquer, you first have to survive, and most people I meet are struggling somewhere slightly above the survival line. I heard about a guy whose family had chiseled on his tombstone, "He came here, he stayed here, he left." Then there was the poem I saw written in graffiti once on a college campus. "I serve one purpose in this school on which no man can frown. I quietly go to class each day and keep the average down." Friend, get beyond the survival stage of your life. Become the enemy of the mediocre and the average in your life. Easy for you to say, you say, "You don't have my problems. My job, my spouse, my neighbor, health issues, financial problems, or yada yada." That's true, I don't. And my challenges are unique to me as well. But if you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, then we share the same infinite power to deal with our struggles. I like saying, between Bill Gates and me, we are worth more than $50 billion. It reminds me that between my Heavenly Father and me, we have enough resources to handle anything. And so do you. Years ago, I was a guest at a fabulous 5-star hotel in Cuerna Vallarta, Mexico. Trust me, staying there was not martyrdom. The hotel restaurant had global recognition for its cuisine, the rooms were lavishly decorated and spacious, the formal gardens were suited to a palace. Touring the grounds, the first day I arrived, I saw a wall with a wrought iron gate, and I peered through it to discover an incredibly beautiful swimming pool surrounded by statuary and more lovely gardens. There were just a handful of people lounging around the pool, and I envied them a little bit. I tried the handle of the gate, and it was locked. In the days that I stayed there, enjoying the generosity of my hosts, I peered more than once through that wrought iron gate to enjoy the beauty of the pool and gardens. The crystal clear water in the pool looked so inviting in the muggy tropical heat. But nope, it was locked. At the day and time for checkout, I gathered my bags and surrendered them to the bellhop. On my way through the gardens to the lobby, I took one more look through that iron gate, fingering my room key as I did. Did I say keys? Yes, there was a second, smaller key on my ring. One I had assumed was for an in-room minibar or something like that. Looking at the gate, then the key, I had a burst of insight. Could it be? I placed that key in the lock and it turned the tumblers. That lovely garden and pool were reserved for hotel guests. It was locked to keep non-paying visitors out. That entire stay, I had had the key to this fabulous area, and now, in moments, I would have to give it back to the hotel without ever enjoying a special privilege reserved for me. Amid the pressure, conflict, heartache, and hostility of life, God has prepared for us, His children, a lovely garden of the soul, filled with the water of life and surrounded by the lush flora of the Spirit. Those who are not adoptees into the royal family are locked out. No key they possess will fit the lock. Unfortunately, most of us have never tried the key. By never internalizing the timeless principles for both survival and conquest that have given men and women of the faith over the millennia power to live as victors amid the warfare of life. So I leave you with one last principle. Conquest principle. Deploy all the resources of God at your disposal through full and constant surrender to Him, and a little bit of heaven will be yours long before you reach the real thing.